In order to make this pot, I need to find out the volume of this mold. So I'll put it on the scales and zero them. Then I can fill it with water and take note of how many grams it weighs. "92 grams. Aqua Cast has a ratio of 100 to 35. For every 100 grams of powder you add 35 grams of water. Now I need to empty the mold. I'll use this large pipette to remove some of the water so I don't spill it everywhere. I should be able to pick it up now and tip it out. On the Aqua Cast page, scroll down to find the calculator. Input the weight of your water-filled mold. It gives the amount of powder and water needed. I like to add a few grams to give me some wriggle room and make sure I have enough mixture. I've measured out 164 grams of the powder into a paper cup. Now I'll add a pot to the scales and zero them so I can weigh out water. I need 60 grams. Okay, 61 will be fine. Now I need to mix the powder into the water and stir it thoroughly, making sure there are no lumps. It mixes in easily. I've speeded up the video, but you should mix slowly so as not to add bubbles. Now I'll add a few drops of black pigment and mix it in. I'll add a bit more, but you should be careful not to add too much as it could affect how the Aqua Cast cures. Okay, now I can pour it into the mold a little bit at a time. This allows me to tap the mold to try to release the bubbles. Squeezing the edges gently also helps make sure no bubbles remain stuck. Then I can continue to fill the mold. Rotating and tapping the mold to release the bubbles. Now it's full. A few last gentle taps and I can set it aside to dry while I fill the saucer in the same way. Once I've finished tapping, they'll need to sit for 60 to 90 minutes before I can demold them. There is very little mix left in the pot, but I will add a small drop of water and mix it in. Then I can pour this into a flat coaster mold so I can break it into chips later. I'm going to leave them to dry and I'll be back to demold them later. While I am waiting, I'll use a baby wipe to clean up my stirrer, but I'll leave the pot to dry as it is silicone. It isn't a good idea to wash this down your sinks. They've been drying for a couple of hours now, as I was busy with something else. The pot is easy to clean as you can squeeze it and crumble the bits that are stuck to the sides. Dispose of the pieces and wipe the rest of the pot with a wipe. easily remove the casting from the flat coaster and crumble it into small shards or chips. I have a jar I keep them in so I can use them later. This way there is really very little waste. Now let's demold the saucer. Pull the edges free to allow the air into the mold. It's easy to pull the rest free and get a look at how well the cast took. The pot isn't as easy to demold, but the silicone is elastic and with some work you can roll it back and twist it free. The color may lighten a little as it continues to dry, and it will be 24 to 48 hours before it's cured to full strength. There are a few minor bubbles and I need to sand the bottom, but I am pleased with how they look. I need to clean the mold, and a builder's wipe is perfect for this. I'll let it dry before I put it away to keep it free from dust. They are completely dry now, but I need to sand the bottom smooth. I have a piece of wet and dry sandpaper and I'll add some water to it before I sand. This will keep any dust from blowing around. I need to wipe away the paste that forms as you sand, but it's not long before the bottom is smooth. I'll do the same to the pot, and then I'll need to let them dry off a bit before I add some gold gilding wax. I'm going to use this craft heat gun to speed up the drying time. The Aqua Cast gets really hot and holds onto the heat, so care must be taken not to get burnt. This has cooled down a bit, but the pot needs to cool before I apply the gilding wax, otherwise it'll melt. I found it easier to use my finger to apply the wax along the edges. I'll put some along the top as well, then I'll work on the pot. When they are both done, I'll leave them to dry before applying a final coat of a stone and concrete wax on all the surfaces. Using a soft microfiber cloth, I'll polish the wax surface to bring up the shine. After applying a few coats of the stone and concrete wax, it's ready to put a small faux succulent in. I love being able to make custom decor pieces for my home. Thanks for watching.